So I'm here for an overnight camp. It's in a wooded area called Takaroo, which sounds Australian to me, but we're here for an overnight stay, and today I've actually brought with me a 9x9 Army Command tent. So the rain's coming in, I can just feel it in the air, so I'm going to get the tent up to provide some shelter, and then I'm going to rearrange the truck. So the idea of being here for a couple of days is to try out the new command tent, to set a camp around that command tent, see how that works. Right, I've got to admit, I've never done this before, and I didn't look at any instructions, but it doesn't seem like I need, I don't think I need much in the way of instructions though. I just need the right size tubing into the right places, or else it will just look completely odd. So I'm hoping that I can complete this without much of a headache. It's a bit different than laying down a bivvy bag or even using an inflatable tent. My hands, it's all the wax on the coating of the canvas tent. It's got like a real sort of thick weather protection, a waxy protection. Just got to try and get it squared away now. I got all the joins in the wrong order, so when the legs were coming down, they were going out at an angle rather than coming down, and it was starting to look really silly. So I'm going to finish this off I might even try and turn it around, because I should be able to drive the back of the Land Rover into a section of it. But we'll get it up and we'll have a look at it, and yeah, we'll make some plans then. Oh shit.
Hey, what are you doing in here?
Just come to give you a couple of hands, that's all.
If Dr. Soper sees you here, we'll get into awful trouble.
We've just got to make sure he doesn't see us, haven't we? Well, it must go together somehow.
Well, hurry up, for heaven's sake, before someone comes.
Perhaps you have to pull something.
I keep thinking rubbing black all over my face. So it's up. I've not brought the pegs with me. You can get some real heavy duty pegs, but we're not going to see any stormy weather, so I'm just going to try and tighten all this up a little bit. It just feels a bit loose, but the sheer weight of this canvas in itself will anchor everything down in this sort of weather anyway. It's really mild weather. So that's the outside. I'll just show you this next time I set this up. I'm just going to make sure that this here is a flap that I think it fits onto the early series Land Rovers, but it should be the right size for even backing up the Discovery into it and opening the back door up. But I think today what I'll do is I'll park the truck here and pull the awning over and create like a little sheltered space for cooking in. So I can't capture the smell of this tent, the waxy canvassy smell. I have not smelled this since I was a child, when we used to go camping, and some of the tents that we used to borrow were waxed canvas tents. It sort of reminds me of going to summer fairs as a kid, when a lot of the tents for the summer fair were this sort of material. It's quite dark in there, so we'll get some lighting in later, but plenty of space for getting a camp bed down, setting a radio up on a little table. There's no toilets on this facility, you have to bring your own, so I brought a little chemical toilet. So I'll figure out how to have a little corner, which is my privacy corner. think I've got the world's smallest foldable chair practically on the floor. This, but just gives me a chance just to sit down 5 minutes. It just gives me time to sit down and eat some delicious fruit. Might all be healthy food today though, I'm afraid. And even though I've brought a kettle and a brew making kit, rather than drinking out of a plastic cup, I brought my Stanley flask, because at least if I make a brew, I'll make enough for a couple of cups and it'll last 2 or 3 hours, instead of keep rebrewing lots of different cups. Just get one on the go and then just keep going. Enjoying a flask of tea, the smell of waxy canvas, and yeah, the waft of a chemical toilet every now and again. Bliss.
GTX, aspect 9, aspect Y, c'est bien pris Emile. Merci beaucoup, le prénom de l'IC Loïc, 73, à bientôt, QRZ.
Mike 0, Sierra Zulu Tango.
Papa Echo 1 again. 59. Yes, QSL, thank you for the 59, QRZ.
Mike 0, Sierra Zulu Tango.
QRZ.
Mike 0, Sierra Zulu Tango.
Mike 0, station Mike 0 again.
Yeah, Mexico 0, Sugar Zulu Tango, Sierra Zulu Tango.
Sierra Zulu Lima, you report 59.
Yeah, Mike 0, Sierra Zulu Tango.
Oh, okay, Mike 0, Sierra Zulu Lima, Circle P, okay, no problem, my friend, you report in 559.
I'm recharging quite a number of batteries. I've got my cameras, I'm using battery to power up the radios, got both radios going. I'm also playing a bit of music, I'm downloading. I've also got Wi-Fi in the truck now, so when I run the Wi-Fi, that's taking power, and I'm running out of power quite quickly. The day is quite overcast, so while I've got the portable power pack and I've got the battery in the back of here, and I could use a little bit of the starter battery from the vehicle. I don't really want to tap into that. I am just running some very low level stuff. I'm finding actually that I need to think about the power differently. Part of that might be that the solar panel on the top is only it's only about 40, 50, 60 watts, so I'm only getting a little bit of a trickle charge, very tiny amount of charge on that, and I'm using up a little bit more than I'm putting back into it. But this is all part of the fun, is actually thinking about the energy usage, just being out for a few hours or overnight, operating a little bit of radio, chilling out, charging batteries and phones and whatnot. So yeah, all very interesting. And one of the comments from one of the subscribers talked about that I was very similar to how he was, that I was more into the setting up than the operating of ham radio, and I think that sums me up pretty well, really. That I enjoy the planning, if you want to call it that, the setting up, the refining the equipment, working through different setups and different types of equipment to use, and occasionally making a contact on the radio. And I think for me, the making contacts on the radio 595959 is not my enjoyment of ham radio. I've just been spending a few minutes every half an hour on 10 meters and 20 meters putting a shout out, trying to get a contact, but I'm not really that bothered at the moment. I'll try again later. I'm only running 50 watts at the moment. I'll start thinking about setting up the inside the command tent for later, just getting the bed down, getting some lighting in there and some comforts. I'll do that in a bit. I'll cook some tea as well tonight, and I've got a film to watch, so I think I'm just going to chill out a bit later and watch a film. That's what I'm going to do. Very nice. Right, just going to find some water. Is that? Yeah, so somewhere around here there should be some water. Oh, there's another Land Rover. Oh, it's a Discovery as well. It's a black one. Right, it's a bit basic for the moment. It's a bit basic. There's all my storage, but when I put that lid on, I can sit on that as well. So be enough here to get a table, maybe a heater when it gets cooler, and a proper bed. But I should be comfortable on that. But I might get myself a cot bed there. Right, good morning. Well, actually that was a pretty decent sleep, I must admit. It was actually too hot, if anything. I still use my winter sleeping bag, and it's practically summertime, so just got some tidying up to do. Once I squared everything away, then the tent comes down. I've got to wrestle that tent and get that rolled up and put it back into that bag. That should be fun. And then yeah, crack on with the rest of the day. But this is a great campsite. I loved it. It was pretty quiet, There was 1 or 2 boy racers or girl racers whizzing around some of the lanes. You could hear them later on at night. And then locally I had some critter. I'd opened up one of my rubbish bags and decided to tip the rubbish everywhere, and didn't even put the rest of it away after it finished with it. So I've had to do a bit of on my hands and knees and clear some of the rubbish away. So next time I need to put the rubbish properly out the way so no critters can get to it. But the tent was superb last night. There was no challenge. There was no weather challenge last night. The weather was so mild last night that I haven't really given the tent a real good thrashing. But I'll definitely be coming back here again with this bit of kit, and hopefully we'll come into some. And hopefully we'll arrive. And hopefully we'll come here when the weather gets a bit grimmer and give it a good test out. I perhaps need to find a better patch around here, because underneath here there's a lot of concrete. So trying to drive in just a couple of pegs just for these was almost impossible. Well, it was impossible. But there's a couple of campers locally here, but you can go all the way around as well. So there's probably, hopefully, somewhere better to get something driven into the ground. But yeah, lovely. Really enjoyed it. Nice bit of activity on 10 meters as well for all the ham radio fans. That was fun. Time for brew and square everything away, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.